The silence is loud enough. I am just tired enough. It's 11:42 p.m. on a Tuesday. The kind of Tuesday that feels like it has been dragging its feet for 3 days straight. I am sitting on the edge of the bed, the mattress slightly indented under my weight, staring at the small, glowing rectangle of my phone. A text notification pops up. Hey, you've been quiet lately. Everything okay? My thumb hovers over the screen. It is a simple question. A kind question. But in the fragile geography of my current headspace, it feels like a structural fault line. I'm fine, I type back. I don't even add an emoji. It's too much effort to pick one, and I don't want to overanalyze whether a smile emoji looks too forced or a neutral one looks too cold. I hit send, lock the screen, and toss the phone onto the nightstand. There is a specific, jagged rhythm to that I'm fine. It's a reflex, honed over years of practice, like pulling your hand away from a hot stove before your brain even registers the heat. I am not fine. I am a frayed wire, vibrating with the static of things left unsaid and decisions I'm too exhausted to make. But the moment I say I'm fine, the conversation dies a natural death. That is the goal. I don't want help, and I certainly don't want to explain why I feel like I'm dissolving. Explaining requires words, and words require me to organize the chaos in my head into something linear, something coherent. I don't have the energy for coherence. I walk to the kitchen to get a glass of water. The floorboards creak under my feet, a sound that feels uncomfortably loud in the quiet apartment. I find myself standing in front of the open refrigerator, the harsh, clinical light washing over my face. I'm not hungry. I'm just waiting. Waiting for the hum of the fridge to stop so I can hear my own thoughts, or perhaps, waiting for it to be loud enough to drown them out. It's the irony of the overthinker's exhaustion. The more tired I get, the more active my brain becomes. It's as if my mind realizes it can no longer afford the luxury of logic, so it descends into a frantic, chaotic audit of every interaction I've had in the last week. Did I sound annoyed in that meeting? Why did I apologize for being interrupted? Did I offend them? Do they even want me there? These thoughts aren't even problems anymore, they are just background radiation. They exist in the periphery, whispering that I am a burden, that I am taking up space, that my presence is a series of apologies waiting to happen. I take a sip of water. The glass is cold against my palm. I notice I've been gripping it so hard my knuckles are white. I force my hand to relax, but the tension just migrates somewhere else, to my jaw, locked tight, or my shoulders, hunched up toward my ears like I'm bracing for a blow that never comes. I have spent so much time being the person who is together. The one who answers messages promptly, the one who offers solutions, the one who never lets the cracks show because I'm terrified of what might happen if someone actually saw the raw, pulsing mess underneath. It's a performance. And like any performance, it is draining. I am so tired of holding the curtain up. I walk back to the bedroom, the shadows stretching long and distorted across the floor. I catch my reflection in the hallway mirror, a brief, grainy glimpse of someone who looks like a stranger. My eyes look tired, the kind of tiredness that sleep doesn't touch. It's a deep, marrow-level fatigue. I climb into bed and pull the duvet up to my chin. It's dark now, save for the faint orange glow of the street lamp filtering through the blinds. The silence in the room isn't peaceful, it's heavy. It presses against my chest. People talk about needing space, but when you get it, you realize that space is just a vacuum. It pulls things out of you. It leaves you exposed. I could reach for my phone and write, actually, I'm not fine. I feel like I'm failing at everything. I feel like I'm disappearing. But I want. Because if I say it, it becomes real. And if it becomes real, I have to deal with it. And if I have to deal with it, I have to let someone else in. And the thought of being witnessed in my incompetence, in my mess, in my absolute lack of direction, is more terrifying than the loneliness itself. So I choose the silence. I choose the I'm fine. It's the ultimate act of self-preservation, a way to keep the world at arm's length while I slowly, quietly, unspool. I roll over, staring at the wall. My pulse is visible in the tips of my fingers. I am not waiting for tomorrow, I am just waiting for the current moment to stop demanding things from me. I am a master of the polite exit, the quick brush off, the seamless transition into being someone who is not a problem. The irony isn't lost on me. By shielding myself from the burden of explaining my pain, I have effectively ensured that I will always be the only one who carries it. It's a lonely sovereignty. It's a cage with the door wide open, but I've forgotten how to walk through it. I close my eyes. The thoughts don't stop, they just change shape, turning into the familiar, repetitive dreams of things I forgot to do and people I forgot to be. I am not waiting for an answer. I am just waiting for the fatigue to finally win, to pull me under into the black, where I don't have to be fine for anyone, not even for myself. The room is cold. The house is still. I am exactly where I chose to be, and yet, it feels like I have nowhere to go. I shift, my leg tangling in the sheets, and for a fleeting second, I feel a pang of longing for someone to just know, without me having to say a word. But that's a fantasy. In the real world, you are only as good as the update you give. And mine is always the same. I'm fine. I'm fine. I'm fine. Maybe if I say it enough, it will stop sounding like a lie. Maybe if I say it enough, I'll finally believe it, or at least, I'll stop feeling the ache of knowing that it isn't true. For tonight, the lie is all I have. It is my armor, my barrier, and my only way to survive the crushing weight of simply being. Tomorrow, I will wake up. I will check my messages. I will perform the same dance, answer with the same speed, and keep the distance exactly where it needs to be. Because to be known is to be seen, and to be seen is to be vulnerable. And that is a risk I am just too tired to take.